I'm also gonna um, open up to our crafts. We can obviously always yap while we craft, but I figure it's better to get started. Let's see. This one? Yeah. Um and I mentioned to her, I was like, I was really surprised when you said that I had fine hair. And she was like, "Oh, really? Why?" And I was like, "Well, growing up, I always had essentially like too thick of hair. Like my hair was so thick that I would have to go to hairdressers and have them like thin it out. I had such thick hair that like when I would get my mom used to try to take me to like the hair schools where you could get your hair cut for cheaper, but the people are learning, so they're not as like experts. I don't know if any of you have ever had that done. And I distinctly remember that like some of the students would have a hard time with my hair because it was so thick that they would say that they felt like they were getting like lost in my hair. And so like I've always been told that I have very thick hair. So when she said I had fine hair, I was like, "Huh?" And you know what I think it is after thinking on it for like a little bit and having a conversation with her. I've been wondering for a while if how much hair that I lose every day in like the shower and brushing and stuff is like a normal amount. But you know, if you've never had anything different, you don't always know like if it's normal or not. And I know that people with like thicker hair tend to um like shed a lot anyways. So I always just thought it was like normal like shedding amount. But I think actually I'm losing hair from like chronic illness, like autoimmune nonsense. She also said it could be my PCOS because apparently that happens to a lot of PCOS patients that are like clients that she has. And I was like, interesting. So we went with the bangs to help with that. It's not that I like go on camera much anymore. I feel like in person it didn't really bother me, but whenever I would try to record like TikToks for my like IRL TikTok account, um which is I think called Bep in the Wild if you're curious. I don't post on there that often and mostly about chronic illness stuff, but if you want, you can you can check it out. It's not that interesting though. But every time I would turn the camera on, it's like something about like the angle, I guess. It would just feel like it would highlight that spot that was bugging me. So tried something different. I do like it. Toasty said they feel like it works good for me, like it frames my face nicely, but it was a very weird development to have someone call my hair fine for the first time. Because my mom always had really, really fine hair, and my dad always had really, really thick hair. And my mom always used to comment on the fact that I got my dad's hair. So, very weird to be on the other side of things. Soup. Thank you for the 3 stream streak. So many of you are starting your stream streak today. Let's heckin' go. Well, I suppose I should tell you in case it happens. There's no set plan yet, but me and Toast were discussing maybe going live this weekend to do some more of our um dancing Lego figurines. So, as a heads up for my streakers. But we'll see. We'll see if we have the spoonage. I should really find a new hairdresser because she cuts off 2 more inches than I asked for, and this time she chopped it to my chin, so now I've had a berries and cream looking haircut for a month. Oh no. Yeah. If they're not listening to you, definitely try someone else. And if that's not an option or if it's like hard for you to find another hairdresser, um I would say just like ask her for way less off than you want in hopes that like maybe she will then get it actually where you want it to be. So let's say you want 2 inches off, ask her for like a quarter of an inch off or something, and then she'll probably take the 2 inches off anyway. Um, but yeah, that's annoying. I feel like a lot of hairdressers do that. I think they sometimes see the point of where like your hair is maybe like not the healthiest and they just want to cut it to that point, but it's like that's not what I asked for, so you should really either have a conversation with the client or respect their request, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, so we got some haircuts. Toasty and I were actually able to get our haircut together at the same time with two different stylists for the first time, which was very convenient. And I don't know how it worked this way because obviously I have more hair and I started later than Toasty, and somehow we finished at the exact same time, so it was very perfect. I think like with clipper cuts, which is the type of cuts that Toasty gets, it just sometimes is like a little more detailed, takes a little more time. So that worked out pretty good. Got home, did a little bit more work. Oh, I had therapy, and then I did a little bit more work. Um, and then we ordered for din last night. And we tried somewhere new. We've been trying to locate a sushi place that we like here, but the food here just like pales in comparison to Chicago. So even like 3 years in now, it's been like hard to find things that we like because it's hard to not compare it to our old places, our old staples. It was pretty good. It was not anything to like write home about, but I would definitely be willing to try some more stuff there. We got a two rolls to share and then some chicken katsu and egg to share. We kind of purposefully picked a bunch of shareable stuff in case like we didn't like one of the rolls or something like that. Um, we got a avocado and onion veggie roll, and then or not avocado, sorry, sweet potato and onion veggie roll. And then we got one called a Godzilla roll, which was like, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was shrimp, avocado, or maybe it was was it crab, shrimp? I don't remember. Um, Avocado, cream cheese, um, and then it had like a topping. I can't remember exactly what the topping was either, but that one wasn't as good. We liked the sweet potato one better. And then the chicken egg katsu was good. It was like really well seasoned and flavored. But chicken katsu is supposed to be like crispy because it has like a bread coating, but I think because it was like delivered via like um like a delivery app that it kind of got too soft on the way, but it still tasted good. I had the same haircut for 15 years. I feel like I should change it at some point, but I'm just scared I won't like anything else. That's understandable, friend. I would say only change it if you want to, not because you feel like you have to because it's been a long time of getting the same thing. If you feel like you're bored of your current hairstyle or you want to be brave and explore something else, then like I would say go for it. The thing that I always try to remind myself of is it's just hair and it always grows back. Um, Obviously, there could be a little bit of an awkward phase, but it won't be, you know, the end of the world. Um, but it's can be fun. It's like fun to explore customizing your avatar, as I like to say. um, you could always start by trying to change something more subtle rather than like changing everything all at once. But like I said, it's really up to you and what you feel comfortable with. Some people just know what they like and they get that over and over again, and that's fine. It's no big deal. I feel like there are some things in life that if you can, if you're able to, that being exploratory with is good. And some things in life where it's really just whatever you personally like. And I think hair is one of those things, with like food and stuff. Unless you have something like ARFID, which obviously then you got to take care of yourself however you need to take care of yourself. But, um, I always try to encourage folks in my life to try new things and explore new things with food, but like, your hair is just yours. It doesn't really affect anybody else. So, um, yeah, I ordered in. We've been watching pretty much nonstop recently the gymnastics, the women's gymnastics worlds competitions are happening right now. Well, the qualifications. And there's like so many different countries, so there's like hours and hours and hours of content just from qualifications itself. So we've been watching a lot of that. Although the broadcasts are on European networks, so there's only French and Spanish as options. So we don't always know exactly what's going on, but we, can see the visual of the like who's there and what they're doing and stuff. So that's been fun. Um, and they're just about finished with that, and then tomorrow morning they are starting the all around like actual competition. It'll be the top 25 girls who get to compete in that. And then Friday and Saturday, really early in the morning, because they're in Indonesia this year, really early in the morning, my time, anyways, they will be doing the event finals for vault, floor, beam, and bars. And that's only the top 8 girls for each event final. So it's fun because right now, with like worlds specifically, because we just had an Olympic competition, like it's like 1 year after the Olympics. Um, a lot of girls who are kind of the top of the top, cream of the crop, if you would, the, you know, Jordan Childs, Shiley's Jones, all that of the world, and then also same for like other countries. A lot of them take a break the year after the Olympics. Also, hi herbivores, good to see you. I hope you're doing good. A lot of them take a break after the Olympics, which is very understandable, obviously. Um, and because of that, the worlds after an Olympic session, it's like very much like anybody's game type of thing. It's much more wild cards of who might randomly pop up from a country you're not expecting at all and sort of like take the win, which is fun. It's not as like, predictable, I guess, in terms of um the scoring and all that. So it's been good watching the quals. And I'm excited to watch the all around tomorrow. We won't be able to watch it live because I have a sleep study consultation. So I'll see about that. That's at 8:45 in the morning, which I personally think is disgusting, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna have to get up early. I'm not even doing very good at getting up at all lately, so we'll see how that is. Not even doing good at getting up in my 9 o'clock time, let alone being up and out of the house by 8:45. I bet I'll come back home and knock it out. Actually need to look at the address for that place and see how far the drive is. I'm hoping it's, fingers crossed, that it's close and that we don't have to also account for too much driving time. If so, truly RIP to Sleepy Bee and Toast tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to watch it after workies tomorrow. I procrastinated yesterday. I did get some work done, which was good, but I did procrastinate my doctor phone calls. So now I didn't look out for future B. And so now tomorrow I have to do that and I have to call some doctors. So tomorrow B is going to be less than pleased with yesterday B, but it is what it is. I just need to call the dental surgeon and schedule a I'm assuming they're going to want to do like a consultation evaluation of my mouth before they schedule the actual surgery, and then we'll get that scheduled. So That's someone I have to call, and then I got a couple of rheumatology referrals that were from some of those doctors that I had gotten feedback might be good after all the rheumatology nonsense. Um, so manifest if you can, pray, or um, however you like to encourage things to happen in the world. Manifest for me that the one of the rheumatologists will take me because that has been a big battle over the last few years. So fingers crossed. Um, Hi Butterfly, welcome in. Hi Crafty. Hello friends. Happy time zone. Happy Wednesday. Enjoy your time with the brain cell, my friends. Use him wisely. Return him safely. I hope you enjoy. That one always attacks me. Herbivore. I always feel called out by that one. Which probably was Toasty's intention, I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, sorry I'm autistic and I want things to happen the way that they were said that they were gonna happen. My bee. Okay. I didn't get a brain cell today, but Puppo got two brain cells, or brain cells, I should say. And they were kind enough to share a brain cell with me, so thriving. Thriving. Um, and then, of course, it's Survivor Wednesday, as you all know, so I'm excited about that. Um, it's been kind of a slow start to the Survivor season. It hasn't been my favorite season so far. There are definitely some good, like solid cast members that I'm enjoying. Um, but you know, it's kind of been this recurring problem for the last like 10 years or so, which is what they kind of call the new era, um, which is kind of like Survivor seasons after they stopped doing like themes and started focusing more on stories. And I don't hate the stories by any means. Also, hi Acorn. How are you today, Banana? Welcome on in. Um, I don't hate the stories, but it's just fallen like unfortunately, although the idea doesn't sound bad on paper, it's kind of fallen flat a little bit. Jeff, specifically, Jeff Probst, if you know Survivor stuff, he became a producer at some point and not just a host. And it's kind of, it's not gone that well. He is the type of person who just like he has in his mind what he thinks would make Survivor good. He has in his mind what he thinks the audience wants, and he just like gets really really attached to it. And he doesn't really listen when the audience like says that they don't like it. He's just like very committed to his bit, and part of that, there's been a couple of different things, but part of that has been him one not wanting any villains to be cast anymore, which is just like that's so boring. I'm not saying bring on like problematic people by any means, but people who are like really willing to do what it takes to win are fun. They make it interesting, you know, otherwise it's very like kumbaya. Hi cat lover, welcome in. Oh yes, those are Kayla's emotes. Love me some Kayla. Um Got a little guy on the loose. So anyways, he's been really committed to certain things, and one of those things has been always starting each season with 3 tribes instead of 2 tribes. And in the past they've done both, but he hasn't been willing to do 2 tribes in a really long time. And unfortunately what that has resulted in, due to like A couple of factors is that the seasons are really starting to be repetitive. So, for instance, what has happened like 5, 6, 7 seasons out of the 10 that we've had um, is that one tribe will be significantly worse at challenges. And when you are bad at challenges in the beginning, that also means not only do you have to send one of your mates home from your group, but also that you don't get access to flint or food. And when you don't get access to flint or food, so you don't have fire, you don't have warmth, you don't get a machete, you can't cut things down, can barely access coconuts even because you kind of have to be able to chop coconuts. You don't have access to any food, and then it kind of creates a domino effect. If you don't have access to any food and you're already bad at the challenges compared to the other tribes, you're going to be even worse because both mentally you're down for the count, but now you're also physically down for the count because you haven't eaten. No, I'm talking about Survivor, cat lover. Oh, good gender, banana. Love a good gnarly gender. Brain cell, welcome in. It's good to see you. Shan, hello, welcome. No, you're okay. You can ask. No worries. Um, so it kind of just results in what they've been like, what's been dubbed the disaster tribe of this season, and that same thing happened this year. And the reason it becomes really boring is because you just keep seeing the same tribe go back to tribal every single week for every single episode until they decide to merge them. And it's just like no fun watching people just get like decimated. You want to see like some pushback and you want to get to know the other tribes, and you can't because they have to focus on the tribe that's losing people for all of those episodes. So then by the time they do merge, they merge into a tribe with a bunch of people you feel like you barely know. So it's just not a very ideal like situation that he's kind of set up with his obsession with certain ways of producing the show. So some people have said that they think that maybe he will retire after season 50, which is like a returnee season. Finally, they haven't allowed a returnee season in forever. Also, one of his little, I don't know, just Jeff decided he doesn't like returnee seasons or themes for some reason. Um, but it's also like a returnee season that has old Survivor players again, and like respectfully, I really wanted a new era returnee season because the new era seasons haven't had any opportunities for returning seasons, whereas some of these people have played like 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And it's like, okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. I love Sari Fields as much as the next guy, if not more. So will I watch Sari Fields play Survivor again? Yes. But have I also watched Sari Fields play Survivor like 5 times, including very recently on Survivor Australia versus the World? Also, yes. So it's like I really wish that like the new folks would have been given like an opportunity, but there is some new era people. It's not like there's none, but you know. Alas, those are my Survivor thoughts. I'm hoping tonight's episode is decent. Last week's like the episodes have been kind of predictable. That's been like a big part of it, is like you can kind of tell who's gonna go home. So we shall see. Currently rooting for MC Sophie with an I. Mostly those two. I like a couple other people too, but those two have probably been my favorites so far. That'll be fun tonight. I don't know what we're gonna have for dinner tonight because we were supposed to make a grocery list last night and then we forgot. So we sat down and we made it this morning, which is good, but we haven't been able to put it in and like actually order it, so won't be here for tonight. So we're gonna have to kind of hodgepodge our way through dinner, but that's okay. Been there and done that before, so it won't be anything new. And thank you to whoever said that they liked the mushrooms as well. Obviously, I didn't pick the colors or anything, but it's still very sweet of you. Um, I've been in my crafting era, and I really appreciate all of you kind of always being down for um, whatever is singing to me at the time for streams. It's been really fun doing these. I feel like this is kind of like my version of a just chatting stream where we get to talk a lot, but I don't always have like, I'm not the best at um, regular just chatting streams because it feels like if there's any dead air at all during just chatting streams, that it's like awkward. Whereas like with crafting, I feel like it's okay if like sometimes we're just enjoying the music, enjoying the craft. So it puts a little less pressure, but also lets me um, yap with you more. I feel like I've been able to connect with you all more and like hear what's going on in your life and your thoughts and stuff. So it's been fun. Someone in chat does the crafts DM. We do have a lot of crafters in this community, which is fun. And I know that some people like to craft alongside, so that's been nice, as they say. Um, I can't hear any music. Oh, I do have some on. It's normal volume. I'll turn it up a smidge, but I don't want to turn it up too much. Let me know if others can hear it or not. Thank you for letting me know. It's sometimes it's just a certain song is quiet, but maybe I bumped it or something. That's it. I turned it up a little bit for you too. So that could be part of it. Sometimes certain lo-fi, it's kind of hard sometimes because certain lo-fi songs are really soft and then other lo-fi songs are a little bit more intense. And so if I turn it up too much, then sometimes those songs start to be too loud. And then if I don't turn it up enough, then some songs are too quiet. And oh no, you're so real for that, Kill. I understand. I wish that I could take away all of your work woes. I wish you could take the rest of the day off and just rest a little bit. But I get you. My brain hurty. Real. Real as heck. Also related to the crafting streams and all of that, just like content stuff. I kind of talked about this in the stream deets today, but I know not everybody's in the Discord. So I figured I would talk a little bit about this here too. I I've been trying to schedule out what we're gonna play and do on stream, and I keep like with genuine, true like intentions putting Sims on the schedule. But to be honest, it's just not clicking for me right now, which is so funny because before the announcement, I was like so deep in my Sims era. So like committed to my Sims era. But like with the news of everything of like The Sims being very likely, but not 100%, but very likely bought out by such problematic people in April of 2026, I just kind of have lost some motivation, specifically, especially with like the challenges. It's really sad because I really liked those challenges. And it was the most committed I'd ever been to challenges. Like I used to restart all the time. And I hadn't been restarting. I'd been really committing to the stories and stuff. But it's just like I have kind of a black and white way of thinking, which is sort of like part of the autism and all that. But like as a result of the news, I feel like I just keep remembering that there's a good chance that I won't be able to finish these challenges anyways with y'all, like live on stream. Because at the point, if that sale goes through, I'm not willing to advertise the Sims. I will play my own Sims offline and not purchase like any of the new packs or whatever. But like, I don't know, like knowing that I can't finish them just has really demotivated me, to be honest. Um, so I don't want to force it and like pretend type of thing. Also, I'm gonna catch up on some of your messages in a moment. I see I missed a couple crafting messages. Um, I don't want to um like force it and like pretend or anything because honestly right now I'm so burnt out, not from streaming, but from like doctor's appointments and like world news and stuff. I think that if I tried to force anything right now, I would just have such a hard time streaming. Like it would I need this to be right now a space where I'm only doing whatever is like screaming out to my heart because I just don't have the bandwidth. Like even having the bandwidth enough to stream can be hard. So yeah, they're under EA Clunk if you heard about the sale. Um Sadly because The Sims is such a different game than most of their games, so it's such a weird thing to be lumped into, but yeah, they are under EA unfortunately. Um Also hi Sun, welcome in. Thank you for doing your daily click. If y'all have not already done your daily click, it's a good reminder. You can do exclamation point daily in the chat. So, it's ironic, honestly, because in my own time, offline, I've been really enjoying my Sim save. I've been playing a little 100 baby save um, and having a really good time with it. But there's something about not being able to finish, and also something about like promoting it that just feels weird right now. Even though I know nothing's official, I don't want this, just like me feeling this way doesn't mean I want you to like feel any type of way about other creators choosing to still play the game, because right now nothing is official, so I can completely understand why creators would want to um keep playing until they know more information. And like I said in my Discord post, I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to play any Sims between now and April like 2026. Maybe the bug will come back, but it's just, oops, sorry, I bonked my mic. It's just not there right now. I've just been enjoying other things. I've been enjoying Stardew with you all, and I've been enjoying our crafting and our little witch in the woods. So yeah, I'm just gonna embrace this era for now. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Dancer. You get me. I see that some of you have been feeling similar. Also, let me see what you all were saying. I love the crafting too. I've been working on my toothpick bridges a lot lately. I just painted a beautiful replica of the Brooklyn Bridge. Cat lover, that's so cool. I love that. I'm currently knitting a blanket. I didn't realize that while the yarn is very soft, it's slippery and heavy after not even 2 balls. Oh no, Dancer. You're in for a wild ride. Oh boy. We're lucky that we have a lot of good games. Yeah, we do. We do. And there's upcoming indie games that I'm excited to play. I was watching Lil Simsy play Town to City this morning, and that looked kind of interesting, so maybe I'll grab that at some point. Some of my old indie games we didn't finish, or like haven't played in a while, have been calling my name. Toasty mentioned Ooblets recently. I would really like to play some more Lakeburg Legacies. I don't know what else, but when they do the update for, there's going to be a big DLC drop for Cult of the Lamb next year. I'd really love to do another Cult of the Lamb. I know we've played through that game twice, but I just love it so much I would happily play through it again, honestly. Um, there's just so much that I'm excited to do that I'm not gonna force something that, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Also, I'm gonna open my window really quick. Give me a second. No, I appreciate that, son. They were fun. That game is like kind of wild sometimes, though. I feel more appropriate playing Lakeburg Legacy now that we're 18 plus, because some of the stuff in that game um would catch you by surprise how spicy it can be sometimes. When we were not 18 plus, sometimes things would happen in that game. I'd be like, "Oop," and oop. I said, if you're 16 to 17, please close your eyeballs for a moment. So now I don't have to worry about that, which is nice. What do I do with my Sharpie? I actually want to look into see if Town to City is by the same developers, because it has a very similar UI and they're both like town management games. So been getting into The Sims 2 more, which feels a little safer because it was basically a one and done with the birthday release. Yeah, and it's like, you're not buying anything new with The Sims 2 as well. There's no temptation even to buy it, so I get you. Rumi asked if I wanted to play BG3 as our next Rumi game night, and I was like, yes, I have a fun build idea. Do I think she's going to like it? No. Do I think she's going to be good at it? No, but we'll see how it goes. That's so fun. I've actually been meaning to see, like, I really want to find a friend who is like quite good at Baldur's Gate, like who has played through it before and like gotten through like Act 3 and stuff, to do a playthrough with, just like one other person, so it's not too overwhelming. Because I really like Baldur's Gate and I want to play another playthrough, and I want to actually finish a playthrough because I've always gotten to like Act 2 and then not gotten all the way through. But it is a game that I do find a bit overwhelming. So I feel like if I had like a duo of one other person who could like guide me through some of the complicated bits and bobs, that I would like do better with it. Toasty and I had a playthrough and we had quite a bit of fun with that, but I don't think it's like really totally their type of game. Even though we did have a really good time with it. And so I don't know if I can manage to coax them into another proper playthrough. We started one, but we haven't really been doing it, so we'll see. Hi Leo, hi Gabby, welcome in. Gabby, heck, I was just talking about all my Survivor thoughts and I missed you by a little bit. Yes, it's really fun. I do recommend, honestly. Um, and I don't find Act 1 too overwhelming. It's mostly what I find overwhelming predominantly is um map uh reading and like where to go, and then a little bit sometimes the fighting, if especially if I play like I'm not very good at the mage characters. I need like someone else to fulfill that role. I am good at smick smack patty whack. I play a lot of Laysdale-esque characters where I make them really strong, and then I walk up to people and I say, this is gonna hurt, bonk, and then it hurts them a lot. Those are definitely, it's not that I mean, I like playing other characters, but that's definitely the ones that I'm like best at. When I was trying to do a mage character with Toasty once, I kept accidentally using my spells in the wrong way or hitting Toasty with the spells, and also they would take me forever to decide what to do, so then to wait for that, and then all of a sudden I to wait for that and then all of a sudden I do it wrong anyway. I'm sure was kind of annoying. He was very patient. Sorry, they were very patient. I still find entering Act 3 overwhelming and remembering where everything is in Act 2. Yes, we played such a weird order the first time we played because we did not know where we were going or what we were doing. I think that we wound up doing the swamp bit like last during Act 3. And I don't think that's how most people do that. But that's okay. Or Act 2, excuse me. I think I said Act 3, but I meant Act 2. I've gotten trapped or stuck, and the Underdark is too many. Good luck with your meetings, Clunk. We'll catch you on the other side, hopefully. Take care. It is reassuring to know um, that even after 800 hours, you feel that way too. I just feel when I play with myself, by myself, I don't have like the stamina always to push through that confusion. My frustration tolerance isn't always the best, so I think I need like a buddy or two to play with. But like Baldur's Gate's kind of tricky, to be honest, when it comes to playing with other people, because there's like a big exploratory element of it, and for me, I need like the right kind of communication. I can't play Baldur's Gate in particular compared to other games with people who are, well, I'm not going to say I can't, but it's not always my favorite to play with people who are the type to like run off, because then what happens with Baldur's Gate is one of you will get into a fight, and then it's very hard to like spend all of those rounds getting back to where your partner is. Like I need someone who communicates so that we can like stay close enough together that if a fight breaks out, like it's not a big deal. So I like someone who's like, okay, where do we want to go next? And we can like decide together. Like I like it when we move as a party, if that makes sense. The videos I see of everyone using the owlbear is so entertaining but stresses me out. He's just a little bitty baby. How could you? My little SUV-sized baby. Oh, Puppo. I'm fixing and updating my mods for Stardew, and I found the pesky mod that was making my game run like it was on Windows 5. Yay! Let's go. What was the mod, if I can ask? In my most recent playthrough, I accidentally defeated one boss too early, and thankfully it was fine. But I had to avoid fights of random people turning into mind flayers. Oh boy. Oh boy. One of my favorite aspects of Baldur's Gate is you don't always, if you've played it a lot of times, you probably do, but in most cases, there's still situations you're going to run into that you haven't run into before where you're having a conversation with someone and you don't know, like the options for responding aren't super clear as to what, ultimate reaction you're gonna have and your character is gonna have. So there's been like a lot of situations where I think it means this and then it actually means that, and then I have to just like deal with the consequences, which is fun. Hi Finn, thank you for the 17 months. Enjoy your lurk, pal. Welcome back to the sub club. Enjoy your C motes and your C badge. I like it when we move as a party, and also when we are not super rude to NPCs for no reason. The only time I'm chill with someone being rude to the NPCs if they make it very clear in the beginning, as we're like prepping, if that is like their character style. Like if their character has a certain type of like sassy or intense personality, I can get on board with that if I know from the beginning. I'm not as big of a fan when it's just like very random and confusing. I'm like, wait, but we could have such better results if you didn't do that. I'm big on the buddy system in most multiplayers. Like, please stop running away from your only ally. One of us is gonna die. Hi, Puffs. Yeah. It's just like, you know, I don't want people to feel like they have to be like tied to me super directly. Like I want folks to feel they can do some exploration, but at the same time, a lot of multiplayer games are designed to be more effective when you work as a team. So if you're playing a multiplayer game it's like Valorant, right? Like, or Fortnite or whatever. Like, it's a team-based game, so if you run off by yourself, like, it's not the end of the world, but you're definitely going to be more likely to lose because you're going to get swung by a team of multiple people and you're by yourself. Like, whereas if you're playing with your team and you're pushing at the same time and you're communicating with each other, it's just a lot more fun and a lot more effective, in my opinion. Sorry if y'all can hear some of the outside sounds because I have my window open. It's Doki Doki Dialogue Harvey. I think it's because it hasn't been updated since 1.4, so 1.6 killed it. Yeah, quite a few mods were not updated when 1.6 happened. A lot of the big ones were, but unfortunately, a lot of the smaller ones were not. One of us is going to be in death saves and buddies. It's not going to be me. Rumi likes to run off and is also not a Shadowheart fan, but we need a cleric. Oh, you know what else I like to play? I said I like to play like Smick Smack Paddywhack characters. I also love to play rogues. It's so fun. I love being good at cracking things open and getting special items and stuff. Plus, if I play a really good rogue, then we don't need a Stereon in our team. And heck, Batman. Hot take, I know. Controversial take, I know. When my team breaks up and I'm trying to heal them, but they want to peel and don't pick their location. This is what I'm saying. I know. I get it. I get it. I am ironically trash at playing rogues. No, I'm quite good at the rogues, actually. My main character with Toasty the first time that we played, and the one that I remember the most from our playthrough, was a very pretty rogue. She was a very purple tiefling, and then when we went to the like Githyanki headquarters, um, we would um, accidentally, and that's maybe unclear on tone, like genuinely accidentally wound up in a situation. I don't know how we got there, but I stole the special sun weapon at the Githyanki headquarters, and made the whole Githyanki headquarters explode. But somehow I survived only, or one, it was either me or one of the NPCs that survived, and everybody else in our party died. But because one of us survived somehow, I think I Githyanki, I think one, maybe I used Lae'zel to like Githyanki jump away. I can't remember. But because one of us survived, I got to keep this really fancy sun weapon, and that inspired me to then revamp the whole aesthetic of my character. So then she still looked the same, but I gave her like burn marks across her face because of the explosion. And then I changed like her entire theme to be yellow instead of purple now that she had the sun weapon. Which was very fun. I liked how that particular save kind of like the character developed like lore over time. I really enjoyed that. After you wasting chug jugs and slap juice by the dozen, real. I've been playing more Fortnite, by the way, Herbivore. I know that in the past you mentioned wanting to play Fortnite together sometime. I've been, I was like really out of Fortnite. I didn't even have it installed when you first asked. So I was like, but I have it installed again and I've been playing more. So maybe we can play together sometime. And we started playing because a lot of my friends are K-pop Demon Hunter fans, and they launched a collaboration with um, K-pop Demon Hunters, and then also, honestly, the matchmaking in Valorant has been really bad lately, and so a lot of the games have been quite stinky. So we've been enjoying having a second silly, much more silly FPS game to play. Like Fortnite can have serious moments, but in general, it's a lot sillier um, than Valis, which is enjoyable at times. My usual party is going through some personal drama, so I haven't played in a while, and I'd love to play with you. Just let me know when you're up to it. Okay. Sorry to hear about your usual crew, though. I know that can be stressful when friends are going through it, and you're like involved either tangentially or oh no, I missed. Okay, hold on. I gotta focus. Oh no, I made it worse. Oh, I thought I had it. Okay, hold on. It's okay. Well, it's a little bit of a disaster, but that's all right. We'll be okay. We're just gonna try to transfer those over to the little container. I did enjoy K-pop Demon Hunters, but it didn't change my life as much as other people. I feel like it became like an intense hyperfixation for other people, but I did enjoy it. I've been happy to see that the singers from it have been gaining like some recognition and popularity IRL, although I was really disappointed to see that one of them did an interview where they were asked like what has been the most surprising part about all of this and about like the success of the show and stuff. And I forget which one it is, what her name is, but she basically answered that she was surprised how popular the line in the song about how the NB had become a trend, and she was surprised that it had become a trend about the fit checks to the line in the song that talks about like in the napalm era, which if you don't know, that line in that song is very problematic. Napalm is like a chemical that was used against people in Vietnam, and Vietnamese viewers have spoken out about how strange it is that they used it as like a way to describe like passion and like fieriness and like connecting it to fit checks is also a very strange thing to do. And she was just saying that she was surprised how much it popped off because originally it was kind of a lyric that they like accidentally stumbled upon, and she kind of had just like said it, and then the people she was working with really liked it, so they decided to like run with it. um I don't know how aware they are that it's really problematic, to be fair, because the um phrase has been used in like other songs as well, but I don't think we as Americans who participated in using that chemical against people should be using it in a song for funsies. Um, Not to bum people out about, you know, you can like something and still critique it, to be fair. So I'm not saying you can't like K-pop Demon Hunters or anything, but it's just definitely something that I think we as fans can push back on as much as possible, because obviously the Vietnamese fan base is probably not big enough on their own to get the changes. So the more we can speak up, be good. What do you mean pre-translation? Weren't the songs originally always written in English for that show? I guess I don't know if it, I would say, I guess for that movie. But yeah, I never liked that part of the song to begin with after Toasty had pointed it out to me, but also I didn't love that like she kind of highlighted it as like a good thing in that interview. So I hope one day someone's able to like actually touch base with her and explain, and like maybe they can change it or something. I don't know, maybe that's wishful thinking, but yeah, because I was gonna say I think it was always originally written in English for Netflix. Um, but yeah, that was the only thing. I mean, I did like the film otherwise. I think it's obvious that they, similar to Arcane, I wish that that Netflix themselves had let the show be longer, because I think, I keep saying show, it's really a movie, but whatever. I wish that they had let it be longer, because I think that there were plot points that really would have been fun to see more developed. Um, but I did enjoy it, and I'm intrigued to see what, if anything, they do with like future iterations. Also, I was gonna tell y'all, I woke up this morning, and how cute. I woke up this morning, and I knew Toasty was doing, sometimes they like to do their chores at night after, because I go to bed like a bit earlier than them because they're a night owl. So sometimes they like to do their chores basically like after I'm going to bed, and while they have some energy because they're not like a morning person. So I thought they were doing chores. They said they were doing chores, and then tell me how I woke up to the whole house, well, at least the whole like main floor of the house being decorated with Halloween decorations. I was like, you're so cute. What the hecky? I had been mentioning how we were running out of time to put our Halloween decorations up, but we've been so busy and stressed out, so I think that they just wanted to get them up before so we can have some time with them. Some of them are kind of fall-y, so what we do is like, probably we'll probably leave the Halloween ones, the more like Halloween ones up for a little bit into November, and then we usually put away like the more Halloween heavy ones, but leave out like the pumpkins and the gnomes and stuff like that. I think this weekend we're gonna try to go to um At Home, which is like a home decor place. Um I need to get new sheets for my bed. My sheets right now are too big. Hi, Ernesto, welcome in. Oh, sorry about the sun. He's a little making it a little hard to see, but um I need new sheets for my bed. I don't know if anyone else goes through this problem. I don't know if it's because I'm like plus size. I don't know if it's because um I am like a big tosser and turner as well, but I have such a trouble with like with my sheets. Either I will get holes in my sheets because I don't know if I like kick my feet or what. It's always like where my feet are. I get like, it's always like after like a year. It's not like immediately, but I think like the roughness of my heels, which I don't even think they're that bad. Like Jen, I'm not trying to like be like admit to the internet of having like bad feet or anything. I think they're fine, but like I don't know, I guess it just always leads to eventually like something about the way I sleep. Um I tend to get holes in my sheet eventually after like a year. And then also if the sheets are too like loose on the bed, because I'm a tosser and a turner, they're always falling off. Like they're always coming off the sides. And my bed is like tucked into like a corner, so putting the sheets back on is like not the easiest of processes. And so we used to get our favorite sheets from Target. I think the brand was called like Threshold, something like that. Um, But obviously, we haven't been shopping at Target after the DEI nonsense in the boycott. So now we need to find like a new sheet company. I think we're going to look at that this weekend because we don't really have any other plans. And while we're there, we'll obviously look at other house stuff that we might need, as well as I'm going to try to find a housewarming gift for those friends that I had mentioned who moved nearby because they just bought their first house. And um, they were very kind and gave us a little housewarming gift when we first moved in. So, not that I wouldn't if they hadn't, but I would love to return the favor to them. They had gotten us a little B-shaped metal like utensil holder for the stove. So like when you set your utensil that you're cooking with down, if it has like food on it, then it goes on that instead of the stove, and then you can wash that. And we still use that to this day, which was very sweet of them. So I'm not sure what the heck we're gonna get them, because they're like friends of ours, but I mostly knew one of them through Twitch, and then I met their partner after, but like I don't know a ton about their interests other than video games and board games, which are interests that we share. Obviously I'm excited to get to know them more and learn more, but in terms of buying a gift, I'm like, you had an apartment before filled with mostly like pretty unsuspecting furniture without much style, because I think that, it's an apartment, you weren't like decorating it. Now I know that they have a fun style because they've been showing us some pictures of the paint colors and stuff, and like for reference, their bathroom, they painted it like a beautiful purple. So I'm like, oh wait, okay, so they do have like style, they just weren't doing it in their apartment, but I don't really know what that style is. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna wind up getting them, but hopefully something will stick out to us while we're there. Fingers crossed. And then that's really the only plan we have. Other than that, maybe, like I said, maybe some Legos either on stream or offline. We'll see. And of course, watching the gymnastics event finals. I've heard about the sheet suspenders. Do those actually work? Are they like effective? I was worried that with how tossy and turny I was, that those were just gonna also pull off. I've been lurking a bit, but popping in to suggest that when in doubt, consumable gifts could be good, like food, drink, baking kits, handmade soaps. True. That's a good point. I had considered we were at Barnes and Noble the other day, because our reservation for the place that we were going to eat dinner at, which, oh my gosh, y'all, they said it was going to be 30 to 35 minutes wait time. We waited for just over an hour. I was like, oh boy. It was just fine, but I'm the type of person, I'm like, just tell me the truth, Don't give me an exaggerated answer because you don't want me to be upset. Like, I would rather know. But whatever, it's fine. We just hung out outside where it was cooler and less people. But we had some time to spare, and this place is in the mall. So we were at Barnes and Noble, and I was considering grabbing one of those candle warming lamps that they have, where it's like you can have the smell of your candle going more without the fire being lit. So like if you have pets, for example, or you want to be able to leave the candle like melting but not have a fire going, which can be obviously a hazard. So I don't know, maybe we'll get something like that. We'll see. Also, hi, Strawberry, and welcome in. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing good. I hope you were enjoying your lurk. I really enjoy the Italian tradition of gifting bread, salt, and honey and wine, something nice to drink. The bread is so they never go hungry. The salt is so their life has flavor, and the honey is so they have moments of sweetness, and the wine or drink so they never go thirsty. That's cute. I don't know if we would get something that extensive. And also, I don't know if they're drinkers, so especially with the wine, like I'm always cautious to give people alcohol until I know that they're alcohol people and what they like, but I do like the idea of like a local honey or something like that. That could be cute. Under blankets, but where my feet usually are, and my cat looking like may have grown two heads. I used to, when I couldn't sleep, I would flop so that I was on the opposite side of the bed, which used to really confuse Toasty. But sometimes when you've been tossing and turning for hours, you will try anything. And I notice that sometimes if I'm in my bed for too long in the same position, that's part of why I can't get comfortable. So sometimes I just need all the bumps and grooves of the bed to feel different. So I'll just like put my head on the other end of the bed or switch sides of the bed. I need to actually probably turn my whole mattress around because I'm the only one that sleeps on my mattress, really. Toasty comes and like cuddles there a lot and rests there a lot, but like in terms of sleeping, it's usually just me. And I think that because of that, it's much more worn in on one side than the other. And so I need to like flip it around so that I can wear out the other side, even it out a little bit more. I buy them all from local places to introduce them to some local shops. Sometimes I sub the wine for a nice sparkling fruit juice. Oh, that's good. They are local to the area, so they know they were only like a few cities over, but um it's just mostly that it's their first house, so celebrating that with them in some way I think would be nice. The suspenders work really well since they are shorter than the bed and thus eases the tension to keep the sheet tucked in. Do you all use like the clip ones where it's like literally looks like a suspender? I've seen those. Or like the ones that go around the corner of your bed to hold them in place. Because I've seen different types of them. Like the stretchy suspender ones or like more like little corner clips. Hi, Erin. Welcome in. How are you? I know things were a little dicey on Monday. I hope that your Tuesday went a little better. And if not, I'm glad that we can keep you some company still. Welcome, welcome. Wow, the sun is sunning today, y'all. Sun is blasting, which is funny because when I woke up this morning, it was like it had clearly rained overnight and it was like gray and dark. Literally woke up and it was like dark in my room, and I think that's honestly part of why I've been having a hard time waking up too, is that it's like so cozy and gray in my room when I wake up. It feels like it's like low key still nighttime, and I'm like, oh no, I want to go back to bed. I think I'm gonna ask for. I don't know if I'm gonna ask for it for Christmas or if I'm just gonna get it because if I ask for it for Christmas, I have to wait longer. But I really want to get one of those like sunrise lamps so that my mornings aren't so dark like that because I think that will help. I've never had one, but I've heard really good things from other people. Low spoon, but I'm happy to be here a bit before I go to work. Anticipating work will be a struggle later, but yeah, that's fair. The low spoon vibes are real. I have also been the low spoon recently and trying to find the balance between resting when I can and need to and pushing through when I can and need to, and it's been a little bit tricky of a balance. I was telling my therapist about that. It's just like so many doctor's appointments have like really piled up during this time of year for some reason. Like, obviously, I had my surgery recently, and then it took 8 weeks to recover from that surgery. And because of that, I couldn't start pelvic floor physical therapy until that 8 weeks recovery period had been done. It only took like 6 days to like feel mostly better, but it took 8 weeks for like the stitches and everything to heal. So then I finally got the chance to call and get my initial appointment scheduled for pelvic floor physical therapy, which is great. But with physical therapy, if you might recall from my last time I was in physical therapy, it's like you tend to go. I don't know about pelvic floor physical therapy if it'll be different, but you tend to go once or twice a week, which I already do therapy plus 1 or 2 appointments a week. So when you start to add in something like physical therapy where you have to go pretty regularly, it just becomes a lot. And then I have quite a few specialist appointments that I've been waiting for that all like are in the fall. Like tomorrow I have my sleep study consultation. In November I have my GI consultation. Plus, I'm sure after the sleep study consultation I will have to do the actual sleep study, which I don't know how like that's all gonna work and like how extensive that's gonna be. And then um and then I have now to mix in somewhere in there wisdom teeth surgery and recovery. I'm like, please. I am just a guy. Also trying to get the rheumatology appointment, and my doctor called me this morning, or someone from her office called me this morning and said um, that the weird spots I've been having in my throat that are completely unknown and unexplained were tested negative for HSV, which that's the second time they've tested negative for that, but they needed to double check. Um, and she has no idea what they are. So now I have to schedule an appointment with a ENT, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And I'm like, please. All these specialists, and yet so few answers. And I'm obviously very grateful that I have access to these specialist appointments because, obviously for years I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. So I try to like remain like to have some gratitude for it because I know how it felt not having access to any of that because when I was in Chicago, I had no health insurance. So like I am grateful to have the process, but it's like I have very limited energy and spoons to begin with, so it makes it really hard to keep up with even like the basics of like my work with streaming, and like I haven't been able to put anything on any other platforms this year, like basically at all. And then um I keep wanting to do more with my stream team, but then like how can I when I'm like always recovering from surgery? Just like ugh. I just want to be able to do things. um but it is what it is. It's like my part-time job. I feel that we got moved into our new place, and then the new bedroom is very dark and cozy in the morning, so waking up is very hard. It's like a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like it's like, hi Beth, welcome in. I'm doing okay. How are you? How have you been? Thankfully, my low spoon week has landed on my tiny bit of break from school, so then I've been able to rest a lot. Oh, good, good. That makes me happy. I really feel everything you're saying about being grateful to medical access, but it's also so draining. It really is, especially because of how often you can wait like months and months and months for these specialist appointments. And like, then you have all this anticipation. You're like hoping that it's, productive and useful and that maybe they have some answers for you. Maybe this is the doctor who finally is gonna figure it out. And then, like, you experience so much medical gaslighting. Like, you know, I was so excited to finally go see a pain doctor, and then the pain doctor was basically like, um, eat, sleep, exercise, mental health, water. And I was like, sir, it has been 20 years of this. Do you not think that I have not considered those things before? I need you to be FFR. So it's like, I'm getting up early. I'm messing up my routine. I'm taking up my energy. I'm being poked and prodded, and then sometimes that's like the only result out of it all is just someone being like, "Well, I don't know, I can't help you." Okay, thanks. You and everyone else, it seems. So, you know, you sometimes just have to like manage your best to like somehow keep up hope that eventually somebody's gonna have an idea of what the heck is going on. And when you do it for so many years, it's definitely very difficult to maintain that sense of hope, especially with, everything going on in the world too. Oh, so sorry. I don't have my headphones on, so I didn't see that follow earlier. We keep our follows anonymous anyway, so I wouldn't call you out, but I do want to say thank you if you are still here. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna finish up the stem of this mushroom, and then I think we will transition over to some Stardewy. I should message Toasty about lunch too, because I know they have a 2:30 meeting today. Let's see. My Discord keeps not showing my direct messages, which is very strange. Oh, nice. That's fun. We're gonna be doing I'm hoping, I think we'll be finishing our duck painting on our duck paint by number on Friday at the beginning of stream. And then we're going to be playing some Animal Crossing. I think my goal is to do a bunch of Animal Crossing Dream Island tours so that we can get some inspiration, get the creative juices flowing. And then if we still have time after that, I'm not sure. Well, maybe we'll do some dailies. Maybe we'll work on decorating something. Um, it's a little trickier this time around because I I'm not like going into any like treasure island. So I really only have whatever decor items that I've managed to gather at my disposal. Um, so it's kind of a work with what you got type of situation, which is something I'm not totally used to. So that's funny. I asked Toasty about lunch. I messaged them, and then they said it was like Junie heard you. As soon as you asked about lunch, she came trotting upstairs looking for her lunch. I knew she was going to be a little bit of a menace today because I don't know what happened, but the automatic feeders are supposed to go off at the same time, but hers went off late today, so I think that Figaroni was stealing some of her breakfast since he was done with his by the time hers went off. We try to make them go off at the exact same time so that way he can't steal hers. He's a pain in the butt though because he will try to eat his food as fast as possible so that he can come steal hers because she's not as fast of an eater. And at this point, I'm like, buddy, you're eating so fast that sometimes you're literally throwing up your food. So is it really worth it? Are you even really enjoying the dry food? Like, I know it's your favorite. I know you're kind of obsessed with it. But if you're not even eating it, if it's not even staying inside you, maybe maybe you need to chill out a little bit. These are not things he seems to understand yet. I need a couple more. Just a little bit more. There we go. My grandmother's cat used to do that, so now he gets a very small portion of food every 15 minutes for an hour, and he gets fed in the bathroom so he's not stealing from her other cat. Real. The problem with their breakfasts is that we can't really do too much like that because their breakfasts go off before we're awake. They have breakfast at like 5 in the morning, and then at like 8 something, 9 maybe, something like that, because otherwise they'll wake us up in the middle of the night and scream. So it has to be because they have their dinner at like 7, they get hungry in the middle of the night. And so that's why we use the automatic feeders, which has been mostly good, except for Big is a menace to society. And so we have to make sure that they go off at the same time, or he will try to steal hers. I wish there was a way that I could essentially put like a slow feeder inside of his food dispenser, because low key that would be ideal if I could slow him down. For now, this strategy works okay. I have my window open, and I feel like it smells weird. It smells like cherry medicine to me for some reason, which is very strange. This doesn't even really stick on anymore because there's like not enough unpainted area, like ungemmed areas for it to stick to, so I kind of just awkwardly set it on top, and I'm trying to finish this quickly so that it doesn't dry out. My strategy of doing the outline first was great when it comes to looking at it. It was really nice to have the outline done. It was not so good of a strategy when it comes to putting the little plastic thing back on. So I did learn that for next time.